Hey guys, I'm back. This is part two. Please watch part one. You have to watch part one. So when Harriet Tubman was freeing people, sometimes they would get cold feet. And you're gonna notice that sometimes you try to set people free from what they're stuck in, whether maybe you came out of an addiction to drugs or alcohol, you try to get them free. Maybe you came out of, stripping or prostitution, or maybe you came out of, dope dealing, whatever, stealing, doing criminal behavior. You want to tell your friends to get out too, but they're like, man, I don't know, man. They started out with you for a few days, and they say, man, I'm getting cold feet. I'm gonna go back. I don't know how I'm gonna make my money. I don't know how I'm gonna do all. I don't know how I'm gonna survive without this substance I use, to numb my pain. And so what she would do, she was so bold. She had a 6-shooter. I guess it's some type of shotgun or whatever. And when people try to go back after they had started on their path to be free, she would threaten to kill them. She said, if you go back, you're gonna die. So she didn't. So when you're a deliverer, you got to be passionate about people's freedom, even when they're having cold feet and they're having second thoughts and they're second guessing themselves. You have to be strong for people. Everyone can't be strong for people. You got to tell them, girl, I promise you, I understand. I know I had an abusive. You got to tell them, I had an abusive husband. I know the rest. I know how scary it was. I know what it is, but you have to. I'm gonna show you the tools and resources to get out of this thing safely. Think about Harriet Tubman, y'all. Out of 300 people that she set free, not one died. Not one was lost. Not one died. And even Moses lost. A lot of people, they died in the wilderness. Even Moses didn't make it in. But Harriet Tubman actually, all her people made it in. All of them made it to freedom. It's interesting I said about Moses because she was actually called Moses. She referred to as Moses. She was referred to as Moses. When the slave masters started getting, they called wind of what she was doing. They had bounty hunters. They had signs up saying, "Find us Harriet Tubman. It gets dead or alive." And they referred to her as Moses on their flyers. They referred to her as Moses because they knew she set people free from bondage. You think they'll make them understand you must be the Egyptian Pharaoh, you must be on the bad, the demonic side, but they didn't catch on, obviously. So she was referred to as Moses. So when you are a deliverer, you have to sometimes fight for people who don't even want to fight for themselves anymore. You got to be strong for them because you know how scary it was for you. And you know how scary it was as a leader. But imagine how scared they feel as a follower, as a sheep. Okay? So the Underground Railroad, depending on where part you were escaping from, was 90, it could be 90 miles. If you're going up to Canada somewhere, it could be 500 miles. So when you're a deliverer, your purpose is to get people to where you are. Get people from where you both were to where you now are. And the reason it has to be you is because the reason it can be you is because you actually went through the hell. You can't lead people out of a place that you don't even know where they are. You have to go through it yourself. Now, therapists can do stuff like that, counselors can help people without having to be an addict, without having to be abused. But it's a certain place, like sometimes in the spirit realm, if you're prophetic, you can't lead people to a place you've never been before, where you never came out of. You have to be on that same the depth of that level that they came from. You got to understand every excuse they're going to have to stay in bondage, every fear they have, why they won't leave bondage, every demonic spirit is going to try to tell them why they should stay in bondage, every rationality they have to say why they should stay, or all the procrastination they try to do. But maybe I just need to just wait a little longer. I'm going to procrastinate. I'm going to just buy some more time. And then they're trying to buy time to convince themselves to stay in bondage. Whether it's an abusive relationship, whether it's in poverty, whether it's, with an addiction, they're trying to convince themselves to stay. But because you got out of it, you know every excuse they're going to use. And because you knew what they were going through, only you can lead them out. So you're a deliverer. You're a deliverer. Harriet Tubman was a legend to the slaves, and she was a demon to the slave owners. They hated her. And the devil should hate you too. Like when you wake up in the morning, put your feet on the ground, the devil should say, man, she's up again. Up here delivering more people again. Okay? So, and I would give her credit for freeing 1,100 slaves because during the Civil War, she helped lead 150 black soldiers into the South to Confederate territory where she destroyed their Confederate supplies and ammunition. And those men and her were able to free 150. It was 150 black soldiers. They were able to free 800 more slaves. So because she went through it, remember, she escaped this place 19 times. The soldiers, the black 150 black soldiers may not have been there before. They may not have been from the South. She knew how to navigate that territory because she had been through it. It has to be you. You say, why me? It has to be you because it's very intricate. When it's something's like a wilderness, like a wooded area, uncharted territory, remember there's no path. It's just trees and grass and bushes and shrubs and snakes and bears and it's scary to go through it. But it's funny, so I've been through before, don't go anyway, the bear's over there, that's where the bear den is, and over here, some snakes over here, this snake pit, don't go over there, and over here, watch that, some quicksand right here, and right here, be careful right there. And it's like when somebody has been through it, they can tell you all the dangers and you can get through it safer. Remember, she did not lose one of her 300 plus, and then of the 800 that they freed with 150 black soldiers, no deaths, no hurts. Something about her anointing. When people left, they could really leave. They never had to get back in bondage or never had to get back. I don't think I got back in bondage or not because there was this, and I seen 51. There was this Fugitive Slave Act. So some people were taken back to slavery. I don't know if they were her 300 or not. Other people that were set free, but her 300, they all made it over safely, and the 800 made it safely over as well. So what I'm trying to tell you all is that, like, number one, it's not about you. Like with Esther, it wasn't about Esther. It was about you being cute enough to get into this king's house and defend him and defend the Christians against Haman's evil self, hating on all the Jews. It wasn't about Esther just being cute and having the hair and nails done. Her older cousin Mordecai told her, "Girl, if you don't do it, God is gonna do it. Don't think you're gonna escape. You still a Jew. All the Jews gonna die, so you better go ahead and help out." She realized it wasn't about her just being cute and having her nails done, makeup done, and soaking in oils all day long and being rich. She knew it wasn't about her. She was only put in this place with a cute face in order to save the Jews. Same with Moses. It wasn't about him just living in an Egyptian royalty, pyramid palace, just living it up. He was called to be a deliverer. It was his whole purpose in life. Paul, he could have stayed, and he was very, well-to-do type of guy, very respected man. But Paul, on the road to Damascus, he realized, it's not about me. I'm supposed to be, he realized I'm supposed to be getting these Gentiles saved. John the Baptist, walking around eating locusts and wild honey, clothed in, loincloth. It wasn't about him having a comfortable, beautiful life. It was about him leading people to Christ. Jesus Christ, Son of God, had it all made in heaven, came to earth, heaven to earth to show the way from the earth to the cross, our debts to pay, from the cross to the grave, from the grave to the sky. We lift his name on high. So it's not about you. Number one, it's not about you. It had to be you because first of all, it's not about you. And number two, it had to be you because it had to be you because, okay, first it's not about you, and then it had to be you because only you had that, you had what it took. Herod was rebellious. She was strong. She could take a lot of hell. Jesus was all for God. It had to be Esther. She was cute enough to get the king's heart. It's like, it had to be you because it's something about you where only you could get it done the way that you get it done. It had to be Harriet. It had to be you. It had to be you. So don't take it personal. Don't say, well, the Lord just don't like me, don't love me, he don't care about me. Remember, when Job had his tribulation, Satan was walking around in heaven. Well, not in heaven. He was in the second heavens, I guess. And God said, what are you doing? I'm just going to and fro. And God knew what he was trying to do. He was going to find somebody to tempt him and test. And he said, have you considered my servant Job? Job was chosen because Job was not going to curse God and die. He was not going to go into sin and go on the devil's side and get rid of God in his heart. He was going to stay with God no matter what. What if you were picked because you would never turn your back on God? You would also give God glory. So it's not about you. So when you say, why me? It's like me. It's not about you. It's about you giving God glory and you being delivered, leading people out of bondage. In the spirit realm, it's like, like in the natural, in the spirit realm, there's like certain areas that are not, they're not navigated through yet. They're not developed yet. And then there's natural territory that's uncharted, and then there's actually spiritual territory where people have not experienced certain things, and you're the first one who have to experience it because you write the book about it, you do the workshop about it, you have the Bible study about it, you have the men's group about it, because you went through it first, and you're a leader. You're going to actually lead it, make it in such a way that people will be able to understand your testimony, your story, because you understand their testimony and their story, and you will lead them out. So that's what had to be you. Thank you guys for watching. Please share and subscribe. Bye-bye.